Hey guys, Josh from hockeyreviewsforyou.com, bringing you a review today on the E3 blade pattern or the Hall pattern from Easton. I've had the idea of kind of reviewing curves on sticks for a little while now, simply because you can't really get too much information on the overall performance. Of course, you can look at the blade charts from brand to brand. It'll give you information on the depth of the curve, the type of curve, the lie, I guess the general shape of the blade, but for the most part it doesn't really tell you too much on how the curve actually feels and performs, which is what this series is going to be all about. So like I said, today's video is going to be the E3 pattern. If there are any other curves that you guys would be interested in seeing reviews of, perhaps a curve that you wouldn't necessarily try out yourself, but you would like to learn more about, leave a comment down below, and I'm going to be working on getting in as many different curves as possible and doing videos like this. So we're going to start off going over the technical specifications and just a general close-up of the blade itself, and then I'll move on to my opinions and how the blade actually performs based on my own personal experiences. The E3 pattern from Easton is the most common curve in hockey today. You're going to find that every single company has either an exact clone or a very close variation to the E3 pattern from Easton. So if this is a curve that you are interested in trying out, you don't necessarily have to buy an Easton stick to get it. The curve itself is a mid-curve that has a depth of half an inch or 12 millimeters, and the face of the blade is also slightly open, making it relatively easy to elevate the puck. You're going to find that the blade itself is medium in length, not too long, not too short, and is finished off with a rounded toe, so the overall shape is nothing too unusual. The lie of the blade is 5.5 on newer Easton models and 5 on older ones. I'm not sure why they made that change. I have used both 5.5 and 5 lies and didn't really notice a difference in feel whatsoever, so it's not something that I would really worry about. The one thing that is fairly unique to this particular pattern is the rockered base of the blade, which you're going to find is slightly curved. It's not completely flat, so the blade's going to be positioned at different angles when you're receiving passes, stick handling, as well as shooting, which may take a little bit of getting used to if you are new to the E3 pattern from Easton. Alright, now that you guys know the details on the blade itself, I thought I would share some insight on my own personal experiences with the overall performance of this particular blade pattern. Now, just to give you guys some backstory, I have been using the E3 pattern or the Hall or the Sackett curve, whatever name you know it as, pretty consistently as my primary blade pattern. I want to say over the last 5 or 6 years. I've used it most recently on the Easton V9, but I've used it on a wide variety of sticks from both Easton, Reebok, Bauer, as well as Warrior over the last couple of years. So overall, I am very, very familiar with this particular curve. Now, in terms of shooting the puck, I think that this is just a very easy curve to use, period. Because you do have that rockered base to the blade, it's very easy to adjust to either a snapshot or a slap shot or even a wrist shot, just because you can use certain parts of the blade depending on which style of shot you're taking. And the curve overall, I would say, is very, very forgiving for, like I said, a wide variety of shots. If I had to say it was best suited for a certain type of shot, it would be wrist shots and snapshots. But with that being said, if you want to take a slap shot or even a one-timer, you're still going to have a pretty easy time with this particular blade pattern. And because the face of the blade is ever so slightly open, you're going to find that elevating the puck is still relatively easy. But if you want to keep it low, you're not going to struggle with that either. In terms of backhands, because it is a fairly deep mid-curve, I found that you're going to be most effective taking backhands on the back half portion of the blade, generally closer to the heel, simply because that's the flattest area of the blade itself. Of course, practice makes perfect, especially with backhands, but like I said, overall, for shooting the puck, this particular blade pattern is very, very well rounded. Stick handling and receiving passes with the E3 pattern is what I would describe as non-restrictive. What I mean by this is, because you do have that rounded rockered base to the curve itself, it's very easy to kind of make small adjustments, whether the puck is slightly out in front of you, slightly closer in your feet, or just right in the middle. That rounded base only allows for about 1.5 inches of the blade to make contact at one time. Because of this, like I said, it does have a slightly non-restrictive feel where you can handle the puck in pretty much any part of the blade with ease. But because of this, it's absolutely crucial that you have the correct lie that matches your personal stance and skating style. Because it is a lie 5.5, 5 and 6 tend to be the most common lies. Most people aren't going to struggle with the lie on this particular blade pattern, and if you are having some issues, it may just be a case of getting used to this particular blade pattern in order to become a little bit more comfortable. So like I said, because you do have only about 1.5 inches of the blade making contact with the ice at one time, whether you're stick handling, performing toe drags, receiving passes, again, it's just about learning the blade pattern and really getting a feel for how much of the stick needs to be on the ice, which part of the stick needs to be on the ice, and it does really give you that freedom of kind of using whatever part of the blade that you want. Also, when it comes to stick handling, the rounded toe is fairly large, so you still have kind of that nice freedom and a good amount of surface area to perform toe drags and stuff like that. And even when you want to pick the puck off of the boards, if somebody wraps it around or something like that, you still have enough blade there to really pick that puck up effectively, and you're not going to find it kind of floating past your stick or anything like that. So overall, very easy blade pattern to use. It may take a little bit of getting used to because of that rocker bottom if it isn't something that you've used before, but for the most part, I would say that this is a very effective, very good all-around blade pattern when it comes to shooting, stick handling, as well as receiving passes. Alright guys, that's it for my review of the E3 blade pattern from Easton. Like I mentioned, this is kind of the all-in-one type of curve that's pretty much good for everything, whether you're shooting the puck, stick handling, receiving passes. This blade allows you to do all of that with relative ease and is fairly easy to get used to, which is probably why it is the most popular curve in hockey. So if it is something that you have been considering for a little while as far as changing it up, this is definitely a curve that I can highly recommend. Other than that though guys, if you enjoyed today's video, be sure to support it with a like. If you guys do have any questions regarding this particular pattern or have any suggestions for blade patterns that you would like to see reviews of, be sure to leave those comments down below. Subscribe if you haven't already for more videos and reviews on all the latest hockey gear. Other than that though guys, hope you enjoyed today's video, and as always, thanks for watching.